My name is Mandy Demaro, and I am one of the Vive Kid coordinators.
My name is Michelle Wolf, and I'm one of the Vive Kid coordinators.
I found Revival through Alex. He was my youth pastor. We went at Stonebridge when I was like 3rd grade, 4th grade, so I've known him since then. And yeah, we just kind of follow him wherever he goes.
We're kind of similar. My husband did youth group at Stonebridge, and so when we heard about the worship nights, we were like, definitely have to go check that out. So,
outside of working for Revival, I am a full-time teacher, so I teach at Elkhorn Public Schools for preschool.
And I do a little bit of everything. So I used to have an in-home daycare for like 10 years. Now I only watch kids 1 day a week. I also sew for a local company, and I make donuts at Nelson Produce Farm.
And you do soccer?
And that's not paid.
Well, you still do it.
I still do it. I coach a lot of soccer.
My favorite memory at Revival, I was thinking about this earlier. I think one of my favorite memories there is one just because of like the moment. Last October, we were having a day at Waterloo, and it was just a very powerful service after something big happened in my life. And so just being surrounded by my community there was there was a lot of emotions that felt in it that made it very memorable.
My favorite memory so far would definitely be baptizing my daughter Kenzie. I think Revival's been really crucial in growing her faith and just having her be surrounded by other kids that love Jesus. So that was really cool.
My go-to worship song right now, it changes all the time, but I'm really big on this artist called Chris Renzema, and one of his songs that I really like right now is Son of God. So.
And my favorite worship song right now, it changes a lot too, but right now I'm reading through the Old Testament with my kids, so Same God is like really hitting all of that, like how God, still parts the Red Seas and helps us face the giants today, not just in Bible times.
A person in the Bible that I would like to meet face to face, I think, would be Job, and just listening to his stories of all that he went through and still being able to come out faithful to God, I think would be something really powerful.
And a person that I would like to meet face to face from the Bible would be Mary. I think it'd be really awesome. I mean, she had to be like just an incredible young woman for God to choose her, and then she had to just follow God wholeheartedly for everything from day one.
Which Mary?
Jesus' mother.
Oh.
Yeah. There is, that's true. Definitely should have clarified. But yeah, just to like trust God wholeheartedly, I think that'd be so hard, especially with your kid, but knowing that it's also God's son, and just be very neat.
What I like most about being involved in Revival is definitely the community that I get there. When I really first got involved in Revival is when I came back from college, when I was student teaching here. And I had a really strong community back in college with CSF, and so coming back was really hard. And I was able to find that at Revival and my small group, and so I think that's my favorite part.
I think my favorite part about Revival is about the same. I think our small group they were friends that have become family and just kind of do life together. So it's been really awesome.
My spiritual gifts, I think I'm pretty good with kids. I think I do that pretty well. And I do really enjoy it. I lead a girls' Bible study for 3rd to 5th graders, and I think that's one of the favorite things that I've ever done, doing that with them. And then I feel like I also have a gifting of leadership, both having to do that at my job in the real world and, being in this role. I think that's something that kind of comes natural for me. Can't really say if I'm necessarily good at it, but I would like to say that I am.
Say my spiritual gifts would be faith and then teaching. So I've been fortunate to really have a strong faith through everything and just really lean into God on the hard times and in the good times too. And then teaching, I love watching kids especially just learn and grow about Jesus, and they ask all the hard questions and really challenge you when you're teaching them, and I just love that.
I'd say one of my biggest role models is Heidi Foland. She was my CSF mentor, so all throughout college, and CSF is a big part of my testimony, and she was a major part of that. And so I love getting to see her now when I can, but yeah, I value Heidi very much and all that she's done for me in regards to my faith.
All right, and one of my role models would be my grandma. She just every day would wake up and just hours before everybody else would read her Bible. Just start in Genesis and go all the way through and spend that time in prayer and do her devotions. And I remember being little, like probably 8, and she'd already read the Bible like 20 times. So I can't even imagine, by the time she was in her 90s, how many times she had made it through the Bible and just was eager every morning to see what God had for her. So,
my unpopular opinion, I think coffee is absolute trash. It is disgusting. Like, I used to not even be able to tolerate the smell of it. So my unpopular opinion is coffee is literal trash. Disgusting. And I'm not sorry about it.
I don't like coffee either, but my unpopular opinion would be that I grew up in Nebraska and I don't like Husker football. So
I get a lot of hate for that one.
I know.
That's okay. We're both gonna get a lot of hate.
It's all right.
Our unpopular opinions are very unpopular.
They're very unpopular, especially at our church.
Yeah. We're a church driven by coffee and Husker football.
Yep.
My elevator testimony. I was exposed to Jesus at a really young age. We started off at the Catholic Church. My parents got divorced, and that's not accepted in the Catholic Church. So my mom found us a place at Stonebridge. Eventually my dad started joining. Our whole family was going to church. But I thought I was a Christian, wasn't really doing what I should be doing. And then in college, I had my big testimonial moment where I feel like got connected to God, and just been growing since then, and had the ups and downs, but yeah, just now working every day, taking it on my own rather than relying on other people to lead me.
And my elevator testimony would just be that I grew up in the church and been fortunate that ever since I was a little kid, I've been faithfully following Jesus, and there's obviously been ups and downs and times where I'm not doing what I necessarily should be, but really been fortunate to really lean into God in all the hard times.
My advice for someone questioning their faith in Jesus or relationship with Jesus would be to just to keep seeking Him. I think it can get really dangerous when you start the comparison game of your faith to other people's faith, or your faith even to your past faith, and just comparing I've been higher here and now I'm really low and I don't feel connected, and just staying close to Him. And also, I've been talking a lot recently, if you've been around me, the power of speaking words and declaring stuff over your life is really powerful. So yeah.
And I would say just lean into God. Even when it's hard, if you're hurt or you're angry or whatever, just really lean into God and pray and talk through everything with Him. Dive deep into scripture. If you have somebody that you can trust to do that with you, that's even better. Find somebody that'll help you answer all your questions, and find the answers in the Bible and just turn to God.
A message to the Revival congregation. Shameless plug, serve for Vive kids. But in all reality, the message to the congregation is just to remain open and have mercy and faith in what our church is doing. It's really hard in our season, especially in our season of Vive kids, trying to navigate a lot of changes and what we should be doing in the church, and it's a hard thing to do, to try to navigate that and please people where they want to be pleased. So just asking for your grace and your mercy, and just prayers that the Lord will lead us where we're meant to go.
My message for the Revival congregation would just be to get involved. If you want to see something change, step in and speak up and pray over it and just get involved. Similar to me, serving Vive kids, or
they're not terrible. We have a lot of people that never
kids.
Thought they would, and now they love
I
it,
know.
so.
We have great kids, so come hang out with them.